Hey YouTube, Tammy back with Purrincess Kitten Rescue. I gotta back up here, hang on peoples. Because there's stuff all around me, I gotta concentrate for a second. Because I know how much you all love to watch me back up. Okay. All right, so Tuesday morning, October the 30th. Hey, it's my sister's birthday. Happy birthday, Wendy. Happy birthday. I hope you have an awesome day. I really do. My sister lives in Virginia, so happy birthday to you. All right, let me get across the street and we'll talk again. Hang on, peoples. Woo! Okay. All right, we got it. Okay, so I'm just now leaving the studios from Man Up America. To all that watch us live, I apologize. Apparently we were having some kind of feed issue. So while we got it all recorded, I'm pretty sure, we weren't able to do it live. So I apologize. I know all you ladies that watch the show that really wanted to talk about the princess issue. Disney princesses issue. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know what happened. It was the first day back in the studio, and they'll get the link up. You just wouldn't, weren't able to watch it live that time. Sorry. Okay, so headed up to the office, going to actually take down the Halloween decor. I realize Halloween is tomorrow, but Wednesday is our day off. So I'm going to go ahead and get everything removed so that I'm not trying to do this while I'm working Thursday. Because it's a lot of stuff, people. Yeah, I didn't get it all done the day that I filmed it. Cassie had to come up and help me get the rest of it up. So I'm going to try to get most of that done today. We still have 2 babies. We have Guinevere and Lancelot. They're doing well. Babies are gaining weight. They're doing good. Not a whole lot to actually say about them, which is awesome. That's a good thing that we don't really have anything to report. Guinevere is starting to really look like a pear. She eats a lot. So, what else happened this week? Not a whole lot. I think we've got a trip planned to go out west in April. That's about all I'm going to say about that. I'm keeping my lips sealed. Other than that, are we going to film it? Yes. I will get as much film as I possibly can for that trip. And again, I'm not going to give you more information. If you guys want to know what's going to be going on in April, watch it, and then you'll be able to. Yeah. Let's see. We didn't really do anything. It was pretty crappy weather. Oh no, I did do something. Totally lied. So, Man Up America sent me out to do some, well, if you want to call it reporting. Okay, I guess we'll call it reporting. I'm not really a reporter. Would have been way more fun had Lucas Brown been there, but he wasn't. So, I get it, you're forgiven, but only this once. We went up to Athens to the Druid and Wicca ritual that they did last Saturday, which was the 27th of October. Lord have mercy for all you people that don't understand where I live. I live in Cleveland, Tennessee. It is a beautiful, beautiful place. It's one of the prettiest places you're ever going to find. I love this town dearly. This was not held in my town. This was held in the town that the dental office is in. They were losing their minds over some Druids and Wiccas. I'm just going to say. It was actually very uneventful. Everybody was very peaceful. We had some protesting Christians on one side, which was at the actual courthouse steps, and then we had the Druid and Wicca on the other side that were doing their, for all intents and purposes, like a fall ritual kind of thing. I didn't get it all because basically I had recorded well over an hour of video, and I have a self-contained phone, meaning you can't open up the back of it. So my battery died and I had no way to charge it. So I got very little of the actual ritual because the woman that was performing it was doing a lot of talking in in between. So we just really weren't able to get as much information as I would have liked to have gotten. I wish she would have done the ritual and then talked after the actual ritual. That way everybody could have seen it. My opinions of it. I'm glad everybody was peaceful. We had no issues at all. I was able to speak to a couple of the Christian protesters. They were very gracious. They were very nice. They didn't wish anybody any kind of ill will. They weren't, everybody gonna go to hell, dog, gonna go to hell. No, nobody was doing or saying any of that. They just felt like they didn't agree with what it was that they were doing, although they did agree that they had the constitutional right to do so, which was nice, because you don't always hear that. We live in the Bible Belt in Tennessee. Tennessee is a serious Bible Belt. I'm just saying, for any of those people that don't actually know that already. It is. The ritual itself, like I said, there wasn't, you didn't get to see that much. My understanding of it is there were some in that community, meaning the Druid Wicca community, that were not pleased at all that this was being done in the public eye. Those that I'm speaking of were in preference that this is something that is very private, and they felt that it should have been kept as such. There was actually one woman that was removed from the Wicca area because she was voicing her opinion that she felt that that was not the place for them to be doing what it was that they were doing, that she felt like having this in public was making them all look like fools. I wasn't able to get that part on video, although I did hear it. And she wasn't happy and had her removed from the space. So, I did learn that it is very steeped in the Celtic and Viking traditions, which I was not aware of. What little bit I got to see I thought was interesting. That kind of thing. I can see a little more clearly both sides. Where the sides of the Druids and Wiccas basically want people to understand that it's just very steeped in nature. It's a very old, either spiritual or religion, whatever it is that whatever word you're more comfortable with, was my understanding from the few people that I spoke with. You could call it whatever you wanted, either a spirituality or a religion, whatever, but that they're very peaceful and, they don't do harm, things of that nature. But then on the other side of it, the Christians basically looking at them as if they're satanic, that they're sacrificing people. They don't. Things of that nature, and that, they're all spawns of hell. I kind of get both sides of it. This is just my opinion, but take it for what it's worth, which is basically nothing, okay? But I felt like having that done in public in the way that they did that kind of just feeds into the Christians. You're just kind of, you're handing it to them, is what I felt like. I mean, if this is what you do, that's fine. I have no problem with it. I am all for anybody that wants to do anything, as long as you do no harm to anyone else. I don't care. Okay? I don't care. But I was there to basically try to get both sides of the story, to put that out for people to make their own opinions. I ended up forming an opinion of my own because I really didn't have one either way. And again, I'm fine with whatever it is that they do. I don't really care, but I'm trying to look at it outside of the box, and I get it. I wish they wouldn't make it so easy, I guess is my point. With this, there were a lot of really odd people that showed up. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Like super punk, super goth. There are people showing up in black velvet hooded robes. People wonder why they sadistic, because that's the thing that they were basically throwing out. Not all of them, don't get me wrong, not all of them, but there were enough there, that I can get how people come to that opinion. I get it. There were a couple people there that, and this bothered me, and I think this was part of the reason why the woman that got removed was really upset. It bothered me. I just thought it was nonsense, and why would you do that? They had two people that were there helping. I'm going to say that they were probably in this religion, spirituality, whatever it is that you want to basically call it, and they're in their normal garb, which kind of looks like monk wear, like what monks wear, like the brown, robes with the little hoods and, all that kind of stuff. That's kind of what they look like, which again, I don't have a problem with that, but I look over at these people and they have paper masks on their face. I don't necessarily have a problem with that either. What really bothered me is those masks were of an Ewok and Yoda. That really bothered the woman that got removed. She kept saying over and over, "You're making us look like fools. You're making us look like fools." In that aspect of it, I'm going to agree with her. That did not help you at all. For anyone that was trying to enlighten people about Druids and Wiccas and what they are and what they do and what they believe, that did not help your situation. Not even a little bit. Even I looked sideways at that going, why would you do that? What does that have to do with your spirituality/religion? Because I'm pretty sure it's nothing. And it got a little weird, basically, from there. So, my opinion is I'm going to sway more on the small group within that circle that basically stands firm in saying these were never meant for the public, that what we do is very private and we wish to keep it that way. I'm going to agree with them. Maybe just people aren't ready for that kind of stuff, but I'm going to agree with that. It was interesting. I saw a couple of cool things, but I get it. My advice is, Jesus, don't make it so easy. Don't make it so easy for people to form those kind of opinions. I'm just saying. That was the highlight, I guess you would say, of my weekend. The prince was kind enough to go with me. He was my security. We ended up not needing security, but and again, it was very peaceful, and I was happy. I was happy to see that the people that I spoke to on the other side, meaning the Christians, were very gracious. No one was wishing any ill will or anything like that. They just felt like they were going against the Bible, and it was their right to say that they were going against the Bible, I guess. But they made it a point of saying that they wish no ill will on anyone, and that they would pray for them, that they would, whatever it was that they were searching for, that they would find it in Jesus and the Lord. So there you go. That's kind of how that went. But it was interesting to say the least. We did talk about it on Man Up America. Jesus, I hope they never send me out to do reporting again. It's really a stomach thing. I don't think I did very good at it, but whatever. It was fun. It was interesting. So, like I said, Man Up America, basically, I don't know what was going on with that. The live feed was just not, it just wasn't going, for whatever reason. Y'all can see the trees now. We're starting to get some color, if you can kind of see that back there. Again, Mother Nature is freaking bipolar. I swear to God. We literally, like I said, we went from 90-degree weather to 68-degree weather, down to 45-degree weather, back up to 76-degree weather. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that. So, and it's supposed to be nice today. It's supposed to be close to 76-ish, somewhere like that today. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous outside. The skies are clear and they're beautiful blue, and it's gorgeous. But it's a very confusing time. Is the switching of seasons, because you don't know what you're supposed to do. Are you supposed to be hot? You're supposed to be cold. But the trees are starting to turn a little bit. I hope we get a little bit more color and not just brown. But that's kind of what happens sometimes when we get weird weather like this. Oh, let's see. Do I have anything else? And we all know everything's done with the Princess Garden. We're at a halt. Still have not closed out the fountain. We were supposed to have done that Sunday, and we didn't do it. I'm going to be honest, I didn't do anything Sunday. I took a shower, and I got into some sweats. That's about all I did. I finished The Haunting of Hill House. Oh God, people, if you have not seen this show, and I'm going to call it a really long mini-series because the way it went, I think it's done. I'm not going to give any more information than that, but they wrapped it up very nicely, so I don't think there's going to, because it says season 1, but Netflix does that a lot. They say season 1, and it ends up being, you know, kind of like a long miniseries that they're done. This is a really, really, really good show. If you can get past the first episode, just let it run in the background. The first episode wasn't that great until the end. Now, the end caught you. Like, the end was like, whoop, you coming back. Whoop, you coming back, because it was good. But you got to get through those first, I don't know, 40 minutes. It was pretty rough. But after that, you pretty much chew it up. It was really well done. It is not one of those slasher, gross, like whatever. There's some good scare spots, basically, in it. Definitely some good jumps. I like that kind of thing. But it was well done. It had a really good storyline to it. Actors were fabulous. Liked it a lot. Rob Alderman, if you have not seen it, you need to get on Netflix. I'd love to get your take on that. It was really good. I was very impressed at the quality of the actors, the directing, you know, the filmography. Not that I know all that much about filmography, but it looked good. Like, I know when something looks good. It was shot very well. It looked very good, and the story was strong, really strong. I liked it a lot. So if you have not seen that, that is going to be, maybe I'll start throwing in, I don't know, series or movie suggestions. If you have not seen The Haunting of the Hill House, do it. It's really good. Super, 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 super good. I ate it up in about, I don't know, 3 days, something like that. I finished it over the weekend, which was Sunday. That's why I didn't do anything. I finished up that series, and I liked it a lot. It was super good. Super good. What did we talk about on America? We talked about the Druids with us. We talked about the Caravan. I don't think it's a conspiracy. I was just playing with y'all. Although I do think there's something up with it. I'm just saying. I think there's a little something awry, and I just don't know what it is. Which means it's probably the Illuminati. That's pretty much the go-to answer. If you don't know the answer, is it's the Illuminati. Take it for what it's worth. And then we talked about the Disney princesses. So here was the deal about the Disney princesses. And Monty, God bless her, I'm so happy that she got to hold Guinevere the entire time. So she just kind of sat back, purring herself, being super quiet, petting this little itty bitty, and feeding her a bottle. So I know you love girl. Like, how could you not be? She's cute. I'm just saying. So I made another new friend, which is nice. I'm digging this show. I get to meet all these new people, and I get to make new friends. So Adam, thanks for indulging me and letting me be part of the crew, because I really am. I'm enjoying this. It's a good time, and I've made some good friends, so I appreciate that. But we got down to, and we only had like a few minutes to go for this Disney princess thing. Okay, so all of you that have not heard, number one, I don't watch the news. I haven't watched local news in, I don't know, 20-something odd years. I just don't. I think pretty much all media outlets are crap. How do I get my news? I cherry pick. Man, I try to do some research. If I see a story come out, I try to look up and try to get as much information from both sides as I can, so I can maybe try to figure out what the truth is. This showed up on my feed, on my Facebook feed, which is usually how I catch most stories, and then I go and investigate, if you want to call it that, from there. So something about what's her name? Kirsten Bell and Keira Knightley. Kirsten Bell was the first one I heard about, which is a Disney princess, by the way. Was making comment about Snow White, that her daughters were watching Snow White, and that they had a conversation afterwards about, you know, did the little girls think that it was right that Prince Charming kissed Snow White without her consent? Okay, I'm just gonna throw it out there and say that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Just, I don't know what a better word than just the dumbest. Like, Rob, help me out. I need a better word than dumbest. But it's ridiculous. And Keira Knightley, she doesn't allow her daughters to watch Disney princesses because she feels that it basically will lead them down the wrong path. Since when did parents allow Disney to dictate what your kids do and don't believe? It's fantasy, people. It's a cartoon. It's a cartoon. Like, if you let your kids watch cartoons and they grow up thinking that's the way they're supposed to be, you failed as a parent. That's on you. That ain't on Disney, man. That's on you. I mean, that's like saying that, you know, people, you know, are watching movies, you know, horror movies, that they're going to end up becoming serial killers. You know, your boy's going to grow up to be Mike Myers. I mean, come on. Unless his actual name is Mike Myers. And then, you know, what's wrong with you that you would name your child Mike if your last name is Myers? I mean, I'm just saying. Anyway, I'm getting off subject. It's just, I'm perplexed at how much society, and these are people in Hollywood that are doing these things. Like, they're making the films. Keira Knightley is in Disney films. My personal opinion, I said it on a Man Up America, I think Disney needs to fire them both. That's what you get. You know, that they okay, I'm just going to say it, that they are so weak-minded that they literally think that video games and movies and all that are going to shape what their children are. It's shocking to me. I mean, why don't you place some blame where blame is due? Be a parent, and you won't have to run in on that. You know, just be a decent parent. It's your job to teach your child what's right and wrong, and to pull them back when they go past what society feels is adequate or acceptable. That is our job as a parent. Period. I don't know. You know, you're basically, for all intents and purposes, they're saying that Snow White was rapey. How messed up in the head do you need to be to say that Snow White is rapey? It angers me. Now, on the other side of it, I had a good friend of mine, Jessica. Hi, Jessica Thompson. That basically said, you know, she felt that it was more damaging that they portrayed stepmothers as always being evil. Because, you know, kids look at that and just expect that stepmothers are evil. I'm going to disagree in the point of saying that they're going to watch that and just accept that stepmothers are evil. Usually when kids get that stepmothers are evil is because the mother put that in their head. I speak from experience. While I don't think that it's a great thing to always do that, that's kind of where there has to be a bad guy. And I get it, they don't like that that's, you know, Jessica doesn't like that that's put towards the stepmother. But again, in that defense, I'm basically going to say, if children grow up from divorced homes always thinking or coming to the conclusion that a stepmother is evil and a gold digger, that is 100% coming straight from the mother. Didn't come from a Disney film. I know, I speak from experience, I had it happen to me, just saying. So, you know, put the blame where blame is due. Is pretty much all I'm saying when it comes to that. On the flip side of it, I also have a big fat problem with these two particular women that are basically, for all intents and purposes, and I've seen this a lot in the feminist side of it, and these are the feminists that aren't actual feminists, but the ones that just hate men and bash everybody because that's just what they do, is they're basically, you know, degrading women that stay home, that choose to get married, that choose to have children, and that choose, see that word, choose, to stay home. I have nothing but the utmost respect for women, one, that have the ability, and two, that have the constitution to want to stay home and take care of their children and take care of their home. That is the biggest job anyone can do. It is a job that is never paid for. It is a job that is underrated at all times. It is 24/7. You never get to take off. You know, for a woman, and I feel it's the highest honor, you know, for a woman to take care of her husband and her home and her children. It is, you know, it's the biggest job you can do. It's a very big job. And for women on the other side to say that they are less of a woman because they chose to stay home, I find is just utterly appalling. I'm also going to take a stab out there and say a lot of these women, not all of them, but a lot of these women out there that just constantly bash, how could you stay home? You need to not live under a man and be under his thumb. Well, first off, who said you were under his thumb? Okay? If you feel that way, that basically having a husband and having a home and having children is you basically being enslaved and you're underneath a man's thumb. Don't get married, don't have a home, and don't have kids. That's my suggestion to you. Let's see if I can get, okay, that didn't help a whole lot. That would be my suggestion to you, really. I feel very confident in basically saying the ones that really bash hard, these women that choose to do that, are simply because they do not have the ability to do it themselves. I can almost guarantee you that a very high majority of those women, if they were given the opportunity, you could live a very good lifestyle, staying at home, taking care of your children and taking care of your husband, and you would not suffer for it. They would take that deal. I know I would. I'd absolutely take that deal. I would have loved to have been able to stay home. Now, that's not to say that women don't belong in the workplace. Sure, but that's the whole word, that, you know, that whole word choice. It's choice. And whether you like it or not, you cannot have everything. You cannot have it all. You can't. It's just the way it is. It means you have to sacrifice and make do somewhere down the line. Something is going to have to give, whatever choice it is that you make. And that just doesn't have to do with women and motherhood and families and all. It's everything. There is always a give and take, a yin and yang. That is just the way things are. You know, you make a choice and then you reap the benefits, you suffer the consequences. That's just kind of how that works. My opinion. So I'll get off the rant with that. But that really, it upset me. You know, and I liked Kirsten Bell a lot. I really did. You know, I don't know how I feel about her right now. Kind of. I mean, she's entitled to her opinion. Really, she is. I don't think it's smart that you bit the hand that feeds you. But, you know, hey, it's her choice. She can say whatever she wants. She can also, like I said before, you can suffer the consequences for the words that come out of your mouth. I'm just saying. All right, so I'm here in Athens. I have made a super long video, so 26 minutes. You're welcome! All right, so I'm here in Athens. I think I'm going to cut it short, you know, for this. I got some stuff to do. It's 10:40. Lord have mercy, I'm late getting into the office. All right, guys, so you know the rules. Until I see you next time, stay safe, stay clean, have a perfect day. Bye.